Stitchy friends. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the Runner Stitcher. My name is Andrew. Today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, and this is Flosstube number 14. Now, I think I actually said last week was Flosstube number 14, but I was wrong. This is 14. Anyway, you have stumbled upon my channel mostly about cross stitch and also a little bit about my running journey. So if you are new here, welcome. You're more than welcome to be at this channel and join us all in my cross stitch journey. And if you're coming back for more, thank you so much. It has been great to interact with every single one of you, and I love that you keep coming back for more and we can keep sharing this journey with each other. Yeah, so welcome. Today might be a little bit of a short video. I don't have as many projects that I worked on as typical, and some of that's because this has just been a really busy life month. I feel like that's kind of a common theme that everybody's talking about on Flosstube, but for me, May has just been really busy. So maybe not quite as much stitching, and also one project kind of took most of the stitching, which you'll see in a bit. So yeah, just not as many projects, so it might be a shorter video. But yeah, just a couple of life updates before we get started into the stitching part. Since the last time I saw you, I know I had mentioned I was going to Austin for a wedding, and we did that. We had a great time. The weather was really nice while we were there, not too hot and humid, and yeah, just got to see some old friends that I hadn't seen in years, and we had a really lovely time. It was really good. I'll try to pop in a few pictures maybe of the wedding and stuff. And yeah, we stayed with my friend, and when we were in their apartment, I realized that my friend has cross stitch hanging on the wall of his apartment, which was awesome. So I'll put a picture up here, but he had stitched one a number of years ago, and so this was his piece that he stitched, and then which was really cool. And then he also had one that his grandma stitched, which was kind of a bell pull with a bunch of different buildings, I think from the town maybe she was from, and I'll put a picture of that here. But both of those were super, super cool. So again, just always fun to like see cross stitch in the wild where I've been to his apartment. He used to live in New York, and I've been to his apartment a million times, and I'm sure that cross stitch was hanging on the wall the whole time, and I just never noticed it. But now that I'm really into this hobby, I just start seeing it places, which is really fun. And so it was really cool to see his work, and also his grandma's. It was really neat. So we did that, which took up a lot of stitching time. Well, I mean, I didn't get a lot of stitching time. The only time I really stitched was on the plane, and I took my Slumber Party Sal piece, which is on Black Ada, which maybe was not the best idea, but on the way there we flew in the afternoon, and let me tell you, I had a window seat. Let me tell you, the natural light from outside was perfect to stitch on Black Ada. So if you need to know how to stitch on Black Ada, just hop on a plane and sit by the window in the middle of the day. You'll get the best lighting you could imagine. So I did get a little stitching on the plane. On the way back, not so much, because it was later at night, and so obviously I didn't have the outside light, and it just became really hard to stitch on Black Ada with the little plane light in the dark. So just a little bit of stitching there, but we had a really good time overall. So then when we got back, we were invited from our friends to go to the Fresh Air Fund benefit gala, which it was their spring benefits, and it was with Mariah Carey. So Mariah Carey has a Fresh Air Fund camp in upstate New York that she started and supports, and it was the 30th anniversary of that camp. So the Fresh Air Fund is an organization that gets kids out of the city and takes them upstate for the summer and teaches them all kinds of things, from entertainment to crafts to music to yeah, you name it, and they teach it up there. But it was a really cool thing and really fun to get invited to go to this through our friend. And I'll try to put a picture up maybe of the tables or something. And it was really cool. But at the event, they gave us pins. Of course, Mariah, her fan base she's very known for her butterflies. And so these are the two little pins that they gave us at the gala. But I'm going to turn them into needle minders, as one does when they're into cross stitch. So that was kind of fun to see, and we had a really nice time at the gala as well. And it was cool to kind of be in the same room as Mariah Carey, so why not? And then keeping with the busyness, this past weekend was my roommate's birthday on Friday, and so to celebrate, we spent the day on Sunday going upstate, and we went to Untermeyer Gardens, which is a beautiful, beautiful garden upstate. I'll put some pictures in here that you can see as well, but we had a lovely day. The sun started coming out, and it was like maybe upper 70s, lower 80s, and just really lovely. The gardens were beautiful, big trees, lots of flowers, beautifully kept up, and yeah, just really cool. There was one section where there were like some ruins of the house that used to be at the gate of the estate, and in these ruins they had planted things, and so you could kind of walk through the ruins, but there was like life in the middle of these like deteriorating walls and buildings, and that had graffiti on them and everything. It was just really cool. But there were so many places there where I was like, I wish this was my stitching spot. I wish I could just sit under this beautiful tree and stitch, or I wish I could sit in the middle of this ruin with trees and plants all around me and stitch. But anyway, yeah, we had a really good time. So yeah, life's just been busy, and life keeps on lifing this week. I've got another friend's birthday to go to, his birthday event later in the week. I've got a friend coming into town staying with me. So it's just been busy. But I guess that's May. It's the start of summer, so it's gonna keep going that way. Anyway, I think that's all the life updates. Oh, I did, last weekend, I did have my volunteer commitment for the New York Roadrunners Brooklyn Half Marathon. So my job was at the starting corral to kind of help direct runners into their corrals and answer any questions that they had. So since I was at the start and the race started at 7, I had to be there to volunteer at 4:30 in the morning, which meant I had to leave my apartment at 3:15 in the morning. So I got up at like 2:45. It was crazy. Anyway, it was a really, really fun time to volunteer, and my volunteer place automatically gets me a spot into next year's Brooklyn Half, so I'll get to run it again. I've run that race a couple times in the past, but it'll be fun to do it again next year. And yeah, it was pretty easy, just kind of standing and directing runners. We did feel like we had our one good deed of the day because a runner had lost her keys, and we were able to kind of track them down with security, and we found them for her, and she was very stressed out and very relieved when we were able to help her out, so that was cool. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all the life updates I've got for now. So I did want to jump into a couple of shout outs for Flosstubers that I've been watching recently. There's just so many good Flosstubes. I feel like every day I go to my subscription list and there's just new videos popping up, which is amazing. But also I feel like I'm starting to get behind on things. Anyway, so many good ones. So if you're watching me, I really appreciate it. There's so many good options, but thank you. So a couple of the ones I've been watching, I wanted to shout out Uplift Stitches. That's Michael and Melanie. And I just really enjoy their Flosstube. They're doing beautiful stitching. Melanie gets so much progress on her works each video, and Michael's doing a lot of cool, interesting stitches and kind of making them his own as well. And they also have a section at the end about board games that they play. So if you're into gaming or into board games, check them out because they keep statistics on all of that, and it's really cool. So yeah, Uplift Stitches, thank you so much for sharing your art. I really appreciate it, and I've really enjoyed your channel. The next one I want to call out, which you've probably seen maybe, are the Thread Gremlins. So it's Caroline, Elizabeth, and Amy, and they're just a ton of fun. I really enjoy watching their videos. Projects range, in style, and they're just fun. I think if you watch their video, you'll definitely be laughing out loud at some point. And I just love the honesty and openness, and yeah, it's really cool. So Thread Gremlins, thank you all for sharing your art. I've really enjoyed your channel. And the final one I want to mention is a newer Flosstuber. I think maybe she has 3 or 4 videos. Her name is Sheila, and she goes by the Crow River Stitcher. And yeah, I love her presence. I love hearing her talk about her projects. She makes a lot of bags and project bags, and they're stunning. Every single one of them. I think each video she says, like, I have a few more bags in my Etsy shop, and I go there and they're just gone. So I think everyone feels the same. But Yeah, she's got some great projects, and she's kind of learning a lot as she goes as well, but she's picking it up so quickly. It's really cool to see what all she's working on. So Sheila, Crow River Stitcher, thank you so much for sharing your art. I've really been enjoying your channel as well. I will link all 3 of those channels down below so you can check them out. But yeah, just wanted to kind of call out a few channels that I've been watching. There's so many, and I wish I could mention them all here, but wanted to just give those a shout out for now. Okay, so we are 10 minutes in and there's been no stitching. So let's get started. I don't have any finishes this week, and I don't have any FFOs, fully finished objects. So let's jump into my whips, and that is my works in progress. So the first one I want to talk about is Gaia the Earth Goddess by Bella Filipina. And I'm stitching this. I started this for Kat from Catkin and Lily's birthday. And I started it with Emma Bobbins as well. I'll link both of their Flosstube channels below. Definitely go check them out if you want to see some progress. I think Emma started in the center of hers, so she's got more of the dress in, and definitely check it out. It looks really cool. Kat also started at the bottom like me, but she's got so much progress in, so you will definitely want to check her out as well. But this week I was able to add in 756 stitches since the last time I saw you, and that puts me at a total of 2,085 stitches in on this piece. So I'm really happy about that. That seems like a solid start for this piece. And as busy as May was, I'm glad I got 2,000 stitches in to get it started. That puts me at about 9.3% according to the pattern putting into Markup RXP. So I'm happy about that too. Almost 10% just as a start on this piece. It's great. So you've seen where I was last time. I had just started some of the Karen Water Lilies at the bottom, and here is where I am now. Sorry about the one hanging thread. I didn't get to finish that one. Yeah, so I finished all of the Karen Water Lilies here at the bottom. There's going to be some more at the top, but you can see the beautiful variation. I think mine had a little bit of pockets of these lighter colors in it, which just came out really cool. It will be the bottom of the dress. Actually, I think I have a picture here. Yeah, so you can see it's just kind of the dirt and ground at the bottom. And then I went over here to this side and started working my way up, and I got some of these plants and leaves in here, and then I really wanted to get into her dress. So I started it. The oranges are just beautiful. I don't know if it's getting a little washed out here, but yeah, it is a little washed out, but in real life it is just beautiful. Yeah, I love the oranges. So first time doing a bottom start, and so far I'm really liking it. Kat did, on her channel, she did a stitch with me for this piece, and it was really helpful to see how she stitches. I just found it so enjoyable. And I've been trying her methods and techniques, and I really like it so far. So who knows, maybe I'll switch and start doing everything from the bottom. But yeah, this is 2,000 stitches. You can also see here, this is a little bit of Krynic. It maybe doesn't look super sparkly. And then there's some Krynic here in this butterfly as well. And the butterfly, to me, kind of just looks like a blob at the bottom, which I guess even in this picture, it's kind of just a blob at the bottom. But this butterfly was crazy and a nightmare. So Guy and I had a little fight. I put in the butterfly, and then I realized I had used the wrong color. Instead of this greenish color here on the outside of the butterfly wing, I used like a purple color or something. I don't know how I got it mixed up, but I had to frog the entire butterfly. Now, frogging is not that bad, except there's so many 1/1 stitches or half stitches, quarter stitches in the butterfly that it was just a nightmare. So I had to cut it all out basically and then redo it. So it's staying as it is now. I still feel like it just looks like a blob, but it will be at the bottom. And there's a couple other butterflies throughout the piece that hopefully will pop a little bit more. But yeah, it was fun to get some of the Krynic in and the sparkles. And yeah, I'm so happy with it. I can't wait to get it back out. I don't know when that will be, but yeah, I'm excited to get it, to keep it going. That was also my whip go call. It was square number 13. I said if number 13 was called after May, then I would put 1,000 stitches on Gaia as like a third whip go call for that month. well, May was when I started Gaia, and May was when 13 was called, so 1,000 stitches, but this completed it because I got 2,000 stitches in for the month of May. So that one's done. All right, the next piece I have for you is Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. This was also a whip go call for the month. You know, I have to stitch 4,000 stitches on it this month. And I'm happy to say that since the last time I saw you, I added 2,730 stitches, and that put me over the 4,000 mark. I think I got 4,030 stitches for the month. So now this will go away because the whip go was completed, but really just great to get some progress on this again. I'm stitching this on a 32 count smoky white Belfast linen, I think it is. And I'm stitching it 2 over 2. And you saw where I was last time. Here's where I am now. Ooh, okay, so last time I had started this section in here. I think I had like the 20 at the top and maybe like just some of this lighter green here. So I finished this whole section in here. This is completely done now, which I really love. I love the heart in the center. And then I started working here in this light green that kind of goes down here through this section. And this is a lot of stitches. I've heard people talk about this part of the piece, and I was always like, oh, it can't be that bad, but it's a lot of stitches. But it's still really enjoyable. This piece goes so quickly for me. I really like the fabric I'm stitching it on. The 2 over 2 is really nice. My stitches seem to lay pretty nicely without having to railroad them. And it's just fun. I really, really am enjoying it. I like how each kind of section is a little different, and the pattern is different. Jacob did an amazing job with this piece. And yeah, so I'm at 16% now, which I think is double what I had before. Before I had 3,800 stitches in. I added another 4,000, so I've really doubled the project. This is on my whip go for another month for another 4,000, which is doable, now I know. And so that'll be fun to bring it back out and see it get even more progress. But I actually finished the 4,000 stitches yesterday. I had a really good stitching day, and I was able to get, I think it was like 820 stitches in one day, which is amazing for me. I think that's just because of the ease of working on this pattern. Obviously there's not a lot of color changes as well, so yeah, but really, really enjoying this one. I've got a long way to go. I think obviously I'm only at 16%, so there's a lot more stitches to come, but really happy with this progress. I definitely will be putting this on my whip go board again next year, and for another 4,000 stitches, maybe once or twice, because I really liked that amount. I loved seeing the progress that it gave me, and I've missed this project. I haven't stitched on it since I think February maybe, so it was time to bring it back out, but here it is. Really happy. Also, I don't know if you remember, but I had stitched this motif over here a little bit too high, and I was like fretting about it and what do I do, and I didn't want to rip it all out. And when I pulled it out again, I was like, oh, it doesn't look that bad at all. I don't know why I was so like stressed about it. I still think I might add a little motif here, one of these little star things right here, but to kind of fill in some of that space, but I'm not worried about it at all, so happy about that. That was Fruits of Plenty. Okay, sorry, just getting situated here. Gonna take a sip of my coffee. Okay, the next piece I have is the Slumber Party Sal from Sewing Starfish. I'm stitching this on an 18 count black Aida, and I'm very behind. I started this one and said, I'm gonna keep up with this, Sal. I can do a few motifs a week. These motifs are big, and they just keep coming every single week, multiple ones. So I won't be keeping up with the Sal, but I am going to keep stitching it, obviously. I really do love it, but I'm just very far behind. So this week I put in, this is kind of cool, 1,111 stitches. Yeah, I put that all into the motifs. So the frame, I'm still about 54% done, and then I'm behind on the motifs. But you saw where I was last time. Last time I had the bunny slippers done, which I'm sorry, they're kind of covered up now, and I had the invitation envelope. So this time I put in this little Dreamcatcher clock here, which is really cute. You can see the handles and the moon and the star. Really, really cute. And then I started working on, I skipped this one, not because I don't like it, but just because I really liked the mirror. And I really wanted to kind of get that going. So this is what I worked on the plane, actually. I don't think I had any of this done before the plane. Sorry about the hanging threads again. Did I just lose my needle? No. Okay. This is what I worked on the plane, and I actually got a lot done, but the mirror this part will come down here, the mirror will continue throughout here, and then it's got like a whole kind of dresser thing that it's sitting on here. So I don't know if you can tell, oops, I don't know what that was. I don't know if you can tell, but there are so many different colors in here. It's not really showing up that well on camera, but there's like some pinks in here, there's some blues in here, just a lot of different colors. And I didn't realize that. I thought the mirror was just going to be pretty much blues and whites. So it took a little longer than expected, but yeah, this is the Slumber Party Sal. And so obviously this motif has come out, and then I think there's 2 more here, maybe even 2 more. Yeah, I'm behind, but that's okay. I'm really enjoying it, and that's my progress so far. Again, it's like another piece where I'm like, when am I going to get this out? I really don't know. Winston, do you want to come say hi? Come here. Winston woke up from his little nap, and he wanted to say hi, apparently, to the Flosstube community. So say hi, Flosstubers. Yeah, now he's going to go back under his covers, I'm sure. He's probably annoyed at me. But I did have a few requests to see Winston again, so there you go. There's Winston's appearance. He's usually sleeping under his blanket while I'm filming. It's like he knows that like he's not going to get any attention during this time, so he's under the blanket, and I don't like to disturb him, so that's where he is. But okay, moving on to my next whip. This is the Pixel Dragon Adventure Sal from FlossyFox shop. And as you've seen this before, I'm not going to go into all the details. You can check out my previous video, or the slide that I just put up will have most of the details in it. But I'm stitching this for the Year of the Dragon Sal, hosted by Erica from Fibers and Floss Canada and Samantha the Higa Stitcher. This is typically my daily weekday thread. Now, I didn't have as many weekdays this time because I was traveling, and so I didn't take the stitch along, and there were some days where I didn't do the daily thread because I wanted to put in more progress on Fruits of Plenty. I was just really enjoying it. Anyway, so this does not have that many more stitches in. I added 353 stitches, so I'm at 59.99%. Now, if I had known that, I would have just put in like 5 more stitches to get to 60%, but it is what it is, 59.99%. So you saw where it was last time, and here's where I am now. So I was working on this bottom part here. Last time I had not finished all the outline for the sea dragon. So that is now complete. And I started a little bit here on, I think this is like I don't know what you call it, sword? No, it's not a sword. It's like a spear, maybe. Kind of like a Triton spear type thing. Anyway, it's a really long piece that kind of goes under here. And so I started that. But yeah, did not get that much progress in, but I'm 60% complete. Still hope to finish this in the Year of the Dragon by next February, I think. So I think I'm on track for that, but I will have to keep pulling it out as my daily thread. So hopefully I'll get that done more than I did this time. And that's Pixel Dragon Adventure Sal. And then I only have one more whip for you. So yeah, not quite as much progress, not as many projects that I'm working on this time. And I guess since I also didn't have any new starts, there's not as much to show. But the next one is SAGA from Long Dog Samplers. This was my Leap Day start, so the goal is to finish it in the 4 years by 2028. I added 1,160 stitches in this time, and that puts me at 7.07%. So, hold on one second. So here is where I'm at now. Last time, I think I was stitching on this Dr. I don't know why I can't ever say this, Dr. Harsner's Bird Academy. And I think I had like 1 or 2 of these little birds and their cute little buildings that they were standing on. So now I have fully finished this section. Goodness, stuck. Yeah, so I put in these flowers up here at the top on the side. This bird is giving some sort of branch to, this is the teacher bird here, who's super cute. And I think he's giving a branch to like help build the nests and stuff to try to pass his final exam, something like that. Yeah, so the third arch is complete. And then after I finished that, which I think was one day of progress, and then the second day I started building this arch down to here, to the bottom, and then I just worked on this section underneath here to kind of match the other ones. So yeah, I'm really loving this piece. 3 arches are now complete, and many more to go. Lots more progress needed to be done, but really enjoying this and loving how it's looking and how it's coming across. I also really enjoy each little story. So next time you see this, I'll probably move over to this arch and I will have a new story to share for you of what this arch is. And yeah, then we'll keep going, and I guess I'm almost, not quite halfway across, but almost halfway, which is fun. So I think once I finish the next arch, then I'll be over halfway across the top. And then the arches keep getting bigger as I go down. But yeah, again, I am stitching this in hand, which is surprising for me, but I am really enjoying it. I'm still kind of learning about my tension and how to hold it, but I think it looks really good, and I can't really tell the difference between the ones like over here where I stitched in a hoop and these ones where I started stitching in hand. I feel like it looks pretty similar as far as my stitching goes, and the tension, or not the tension, but how tight I'm pulling it. And yeah, really liking it. And I'm still loving these silks for you. This is a 36 count vintage country mocha, and I'm using Silks for You PR 207. I'm really just loving it. I'm using 1 strand. I think it's really good coverage for this type of a piece, and you can see the coverage on the hens really well. It's really nice. Yeah, so really fun. That's Saga. And those are all my whips. That's all I have this time. I am going to go into a little bit of plans, and then I'll go into haul. So if you don't like haul, you can bow out for that part, but wanted to discuss a little bit of my plans. So May whip go, obviously you've seen a couple of them. So number 5 was called, that was Fruits of Plenty for me to put in 4,000 stitches. That is now completed. I'll put in a picture of my whip go board just so you can kind of see everything I'm talking about it. Then number 13 was Gaia for 1,000 stitches. That's also complete. So my final one is number 19, and that is a new start for me. It's going to be this pancake piece by Sammy Stitch's store on Etsy. And that it's called for 1,500 stitches. So I actually hope to start that maybe today after I'm done filming and editing and get that going, because I've got 10 days left. I think I should be able to get 1,500 stitches. It is going to be on a black Aida again. So yeah, I guess I'm becoming a black Aida pro, but those are my whip go calls. Obviously we don't know what whip go is going to call for June yet, so I will keep you posted in the next video as to what is called for me and what that looks like. But I'm excited. The rest of the spots on my whip go board I'm excited for, so it'll all be good. I also mentioned I'm doing a 5-4-3 rotation, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days on a certain project. So for the month of May, my 5 days was Gaia. I really wanted to give her a good start. I'm happy with the 2,000 stitches I got, and she was my 5-day project. So that's done. I got all 5 days on her. The 4 days was Fruits of Plenty. I knew to get 4,000 stitches, I was going to need to dedicate certain days to it. So 4 days went to Fruits of Plenty. That is also now done. I hit my 4th day yesterday. And so that only leaves the 3. 3 will be Lily of the Woods. You didn't even get to see Lily this time, which might be the first time in a while I haven't shown her. But she's got 3 days left for the end of May. I'll be stitching on her those 3 days till my next video. So hopefully you'll see some good progress then. I've also got one more start coming up. I shared it in my last video, but it's Bee Queen by, is it Tiny Modernist? Oh, I can't remember. I'll pop it up down here. But I'm stitching that with Sarah from Sew Me Sarah. We're going to start it on Monday, 5/27, so this coming Monday. I'm excited to get a start on that one. I've had it kitted up for a little while, and yeah, then I'll be able to work on it throughout the summer. And the last thing, oh, hold on one second. I'm gonna grab some, okay, I'm back. The last thing I wanted to talk about was a June sale that's happening, hosted by Marjorie Maid, which go check out her channel if you haven't been watching it. But her sale is going to be Strawberry Moon Sale. So basically she's inviting everyone to stitch on a piece that has strawberries in it. So I mentioned last time I have this Told in a Garden piece called Strawberries Forever. And oops, I always do that. So I'm going to be stitching on this. It reminds me of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where I grew up, where I used to get fresh strawberries like this on the side of the road. So I'm really excited about that. Now you can see here the called for fabric is kind of like a grayish green. I don't know if the picture is actually showing up that well. It's a Sage Ada is what it's called for. So I went through my stash of what I've got currently, and I've got kind of two choices at the moment. One is this dusty green Jobelin. This is a 28 count. It's a piece I bought on a fabric destash or a destash site, and this piece will actually fit perfectly on here. So I'm really tempted to use it. This actually looks really close to the called for color, and so I don't have any of the threads yet, so I can't do a floss toss, but I think this is gonna be okay based on this here. I think it's gonna be okay. I think it'll look good. But that's one option. So this is the dusty green Jobelin. The second option is I've also got this in my stash, which is a 36 count unknown fabric. It's kind of just like a tannish color. I don't actually know what the color is called, but almost similar to Vintage Country Mocha, but it's getting a little bit more washed out in this light. It's more like straw tan, I guess I would say. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think would look better? This kind of tannish looking, that gets really washed out. So it's definitely more like this. Ooh, that's good. That's what it looks like. This sort of tan color, or we've got this green color. That actually looks pretty good too for what it said. So let me know what you think. I'm curious which one you would suggest or pick. I'm still deciding. Again, I have to still get all of the floss. It's all DMC, so it'll be pretty easy to kit up. I'll probably just place an order with 1, 2, 3 stitch and go from there. But I need to do that by the end of this month, so I have everything to get that started in June. So those are my plans. I think those are the only plans I have for June. Obviously, we'll wait to see what WIPGO is, but I don't have any other starts planned at the moment. So it'll just be kind of pulling out some WIPs, which will be nice. May felt like such a busy month, but anyway. Okay, then that's all I've got for plans. So I'm gonna move on to haul. If you don't like haul, thank you so much for watching up to this point. I really appreciate it, and happy stitching. If you are into haul, I'm going to share a couple of things that I've purchased, not necessarily in the past month, but it just seems like a lot came in this month. So I'll kind of show a couple of things that I've got here. The first one, which I'm really excited for, is a beading holder, a bead holder. It's from Craftway Anne on Etsy, and I've seen a couple other people mention this, and I was like, I'm gonna give this a try and see. So I purchased the Swan, but it's this kind of, it has this glass on top so the beads don't fall out, and then the glass is magnetic, so you can kind of, I'm gonna try to do this without spilling things everywhere, but you can pop the glass off, you can kind of spin it to the side to grab your beads, and then it will pop back on, and it's a magnet, so then everything will be set. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. I like the look of it, so I put all the beads for the Mermaid of the Season style that I'm working on, because that is ready for beading. So all the beads for that are in here, and now I have no reason but to bead. So hoping to get that out. Maybe Memorial Day weekend I will dedicate a day and just get through some of the beading. Now, one thing I would like to say is I put all of the beads in here for each color. I don't know if I was actually supposed to do that. I think I might have just been supposed to like kind of dump beads in here as I needed them to bead, because I was thinking, how am I going to get these out of here for the ones that I don't use? That's a future me problem. But this is really well made, and it's really lovely to see the bead colors, and I do really like it. So that was one of my purchases. Okay, then Abby at Top Knot Stitcher, she was having sort of a spring clearance sale, I think it was. And so I bought a couple of things that she had on sale there. One is, this is called Winter's Dawn by Pickle Barrel Designs. I just thought this little cabin in the snow was so cute. So Pickle Barrel Designs, Winter's Dawn. Sorry, I think I said something else, but Winter's Dawn. Really cool piece. I would like to get that stitched up. And then I also got through her the tree house from the Fabulous House series from Cottage Garden Samplings. It also came with the hickory sticks classic colorworks that you need for it. I love this tree house. I honestly thought the Hobbit house was going to be my favorite, but this tree house is giving it a run for its money. So I really like this one. I haven't started any of these houses yet, but it's on my to-do list, and from what I can tell, they look a lot bigger than what I expected. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, then on a D-Stash site, I picked up my first Christmas Eve Courier by Nora Corbett. This is Donner. So cute. I'm sure you've all seen these before. Samantha, the Higa Stitcher, has stitched a lot of these and is working on, I think, stitching them all. And then I think there is like a sleigh at the end, or maybe a Santa. But I do really love these. So this is on my list to kind of start collecting and maybe start stitching eventually. But I really like this one. The next one I got is a Teresa Wensler pattern, which I've been seeing for a while and really liked it. Finally found one on eBay that wasn't that expensive, and this is Companions. Look at the colors in this, the Santa and the horse, the trees, the dimension they have. It's beautiful. I just love this piece. I know this is going to be a big project, so I don't know when I'll start this, but I really wanted to have it in my collection, and yeah, I'm happy to hopefully get this going at some point. And then the last thing I purchased were 2 Mill Hill kits, and I've actually never stitched any of these. These are buttons and beads kits. They're the square ones, so I've never stitched the square ones. I've only done like the ornaments or the beaded kind of ornament kits, but this one was just too cute. Ginger Friends by Mill Hill. I just thought that was so cute. So if I don't stitch that this year, it'll definitely go on my WhipGo board for next year. I like having some of these smaller pieces that I can just put on as a finish on my WhipGo board. It kind of gives me a little satisfaction since most of the pieces I start are huge. Anyway, yeah. Then the other one that I got was called Cabin Fever. Here's this one. Sorry about the glare. And this one, it just reminds me of Lake Tahoe when we go there each summer. We have for the past couple of years. And yeah, I just love the little cabin. We always have s'mores over the fire at the hotel that we stay at. And yeah, just really, really liked this cute little piece. So it also comes with, I won't show you the back, but it comes with this cute little frog button, which is so cute. And he like sits right here in the center. So he's not stitched, he's just this cute little button and all these fun bead colors and everything. So excited to get that one going. And then I also received some stitchy kindness this week or in the past 2 weeks that I'd like to share. So the first is Kat from Whittier Stitches. She had posted that she got some, sorry, I'm looking for it here. She had posted that she had got some needle minders, and a couple of them were mermaid tails, and I was obsessed. So I immediately messaged her and I'm like, oh my goodness, where did you get those? Those are so cute. I'd love to purchase them, but I couldn't find them on Etsy or anything. She's like, I'm actually not sure where they came from because someone gifted them to her. She's like, but I don't need 6 of these like I have, so can I send you one? And I was like, oh my goodness, sure, I would love that. So she sent me this needle minder. It's like iridescent. It's this beautiful yellow color. It's beautiful. So I'll probably put this on the mermaid piece that I'm working on when I start beading. But I was really happy to receive that. So thank you so much, Kat, for doing that. And then I also received from Jackie, who is Jack's Creative Inspirations. She sent me, and I'm not going to take these all out, but Joan Elliott has done an angel series in one of the magazines. I'm not sure which magazine it was, but so I have one of those. I think I have Angel of Spring or Summer. I had posted that I had that one, and she was like, oh, I have the rest. Would you like me to send them to you? And I was like, what? Sure. So she did. She sent me the rest of them. I'm just covering up her lovely, lovely note here. That was very, very sweet of her. But yeah, she sent me the rest of the angels. So now I have the whole series and can get them going at some point. I don't know if they'll be kind of like a seasonal stitch for next year, since hopefully I'll have the seasonal mermaids done. But yeah, thank you so much, Jackie. That was really kind. I really appreciate that. And I think that's all I've got. So keep running if you're a runner, always keep stitching, and be kind to whoever you meet on your journey. Bye for now, until the next stitch.